Hey, welcome back to Rev'N Garage, and today we got a little bit of a project going on where we got a couple sponsors that have reached out due to me getting called out for not having proper PPE on my last welding video. So I want to say thank you to Vorito and their professional grade welding helmet. Looks like a pretty good piece. And also to Top DC with a nice set of leather gloves and their welding blanket that is 4 by 6 feet in length. We'll be using the welding blanket later on in up and coming projects, but I am really excited to use these heavy Top DC welding gloves and also the Vorito Pro welding helmet. It has a huge face mask on it, and they sent actually a few of the for the grinding aspect of it, new face shields for that as well. So let's go ahead, get into this, and see what we can weld up for today. What we're going to be doing on this project today is welding on these new tail light buckets. We're going to be welding them on right here where they need to go. We are going to have to clean the metal off, set the ground. We'll get the welder set up here in a little bit, but the main thing is I've got the welding mask on that also works as a grinding mask, as well as my PPE gloves from Top DC. Vorito's mask, we're going to see how that works. It seems like a really well put together piece. So we'll go ahead and start cleaning off metal and get ready to weld.
As you can see right here is where I ended up losing all my audio. What I started doing is started just prepping the metal, making sure that all the rust scale and everything was off of it. Just sitting here cleaning, making sure it's as clean as possible before we start welding. As you can see, I'm just continuing on with cleaning the rusted areas, getting that scale off there, old years of paint and everything else that was on this trailer. It's pretty nasty, so it took quite a while just to get it cleaned up to prep up for welding. Kind of a boring process, but just a process that just has to happen.
A nightmare to find, but we're tearing it down, leaving nothing behind. I'll show you the wires, the clips and the seals, the how to reality of working on wheels. Slave the labor, learn the skill, fix the car and skip the bill. Fix it, swap it, make it your own. Ring the rise, your
Now you're going to see me change spots here, and what I'm doing is basically setting up an area for the ground cable for the welder to be on. So once again, we just continue to grind, cleaning, prepping the metal, taking all the paint off to get a clean surface so we can put that ground right here. We've got everything cleaned up for the welder, so now I'm talking about just making sure the ground and the metal's clean. That way whenever you hook up the welder, it's going to have a good ground to it. I'm going to grab the bucket here and just basically show you that it's just bare metal as well. What I'm doing here is basically talking about how the welder needs to be set up with the correct voltage as well as grounds. That way you can have the best possible chance of a successful weld to your trailer there. You see me grabbing my mask right now, and what I'm doing is I'm adjusting this Vorito mask from basically grinder to welding mode. This mask is a really neat mask. They're going to be located on Amazon. I'll give you a link at the bottom of the description here, but they are amazing pieces of equipment. The Top DC gloves as well, they're very soft and easy to work with. Okay, what you're getting ready to see now is basically just laying down a couple tack welds on this bucket to this trailer. I was kind of in a hurry and had to get the trailer back to my buddy's house. I was able to pick up a couple days later to do the finish welding, and also figured out my audio problem, so my audio should be picking back up here in just a little bit. So here's, like I said, just a couple cold welds just to get it stuck to the trailer. One thing that I do want to say is I am sorry for the wind noise that's getting ready to happen whenever we cut out to my buddy's house to do the finish welding on the trailer. So just kind of bear with me with it. It was extremely windy and cold.
Okay, we got everything cleaned off here. We're getting ready to lay down a bead. Just want to say these top DC gloves are very nice. Your fingers can move around, make a good grip with them. They're not just kind of a hard leather, it's a real soft leather. And then this Vorito mask that I'm using has a huge screen on the inside of it, and you can see everything almost out of your peripheral, so it works really well for welding. So we'll go ahead and start. We'll get a good bead going and we'll go from there. All right, that turned out really well. Weld laid down really smoothly, good bead across there, and that's how you can get it done.